Hi, everyone. It's Max here at Metomic. Really exciting session today. We're going to have Ben, our co-founder and CTO, speak to one of our newest integrations, the Chat GPT integration. This is obviously one of the most recommended requests from all of our customers in the last several months because this has become a phenomenon. And Ben will speak to both the scope of the problem and the integration as it exists today, what you can activate after this call. We'll be following up with all of you, all attendees of this session, with not only kind of an information pack covering what we're talking about today, but the opportunity to have several months of absolutely free use of this integration, so that you can get a sense of what the ChatGPT problem is like in your organization and also begin to get visibility and control over it. So with all that said, I'll pass to Ben, co-founder, CTO, and lead man on this integration. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you very much, Max. I'm just going to share my screen. This one here. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to take you on a very quick whistle-stop tour of Metomic and ChatGPT, so the solution we have in place, and talk a little bit about the future. Briefly, a quick background. I don't think any of us need this on ChatGPT, but we all know it's big, has 180 million users. This probably includes your employees. It's incredibly easy to use, so a lot of people using it a lot for work. So very high level stats, rough estimates hover around 40% mark of professionals using the tool for work-related tasks. So I think we all know on this chat that it is ubiquitous. Okay, what's the risk? Why is this a problem at all? We probably know this as well, but just to point it out, in that box, anything goes. You get no visibility if your employees or your staff are using ChatGPT and they're misusing it in any way. You have no visibility and you have no controls by default. What is the risk followed? Here's something a lot of people don't know about. With that button there, any chat you have is made public. You can share any chat publicly by clicking the share link at the top of the chat. This is just an extra little add-on to the potential risks of having sensitive data in OpenAI and ChatGPT. All right, risk to companies. The obvious one is the data loss. This is something that impacts every single product that we use, of course, but just a kind of bit of flavor and background. The first leak occurred in July 2023, which was when chats were being sent to the wrong customers. So people were seeing chats that belong to you, not chats that belong to them. But then probably the one that is more pressingly on people's minds is the fact that ChatGPT is a magnet for contract breaches if you are governed by any form of regulation. So maybe you are an EU company and you say that you don't transmit data out of the EU, but you are transmitting to the US, or your employees are. Perhaps you're subject to HIPAA and you have healthcare information in this tool, or you're PCI compliant, the list goes on. All right, let's talk briefly about Metomic and ChatGPT. So what we've done today is we've focused on bringing visibility to the sensitive data that's being put into ChatGPT, its usage, and how your staff are using the tool. So how is the tool being used in your organization? Where is sensitive information being submitted? Who and when? These are the standard pieces of information you can expect from the Metomic platform, and this is no different. Very briefly, because ChatGPT is, the Metomic integration is constructed as a Chrome plugin, it works slightly differently to our other integrations. So rollout is going to be slightly customized per customer, because you all have different ways of installing tools into your own onto your own laptops. But broadly, we have a very basic rollout that will get anybody started using Google Workspace groups. The plugin itself, it activates when an employee member with the plugin installed, they visit a ChatGPT window, and it then connects their ChatGPT account to the Metomic platform. Particulars, apologies, I've already talked about this. We will tune this for your company, and the basic default is you can always use a Google group to automatically distribute the plugin. We've got that set up for you. Okay, time for a quick demo. Um, in this video, which I prepared just before this call, I'm a ChatGPT user. I work for a company called Acme, and I have the Metomic plugin installed. You can see it there at my browser. I'm also a support engineer, so I am engaging with customers and answering their questions. So customers ask me a question here that I do not understand. They're using some odd terms about banking, and I'm going to use ChatGPT to help me answer this question. I don't know what they're asking me. So I asked ChatGPT and I paste the contents of their message into this box, and it very helpfully tells me what I need to know. Now, here's my problem, or my boss's problem. I have just put an SSN into this chat. I've put other sensitive data belonging to the customer into this chat. So I should have paused there for a second, just come back over to Metomic, and I've refreshed the view of what Metomic can see. And you can see up the top here, it's found that chat. I've got this sorted by asset created time. And if I click into this asset, you can see that this is the chat with me, happened a moment ago. And you can see that it's picked up the social security number there. And it was created by me moments ago. So very, very brief demo. I think everybody here knows how the Metomic platform works. So I won't linger on that any longer. Let's talk super quickly about how you get access. So early access is available immediately. Max will talk a little bit more about this. And if you'd like to get involved, if you like the ChatGPT integration, you'd like to test it out or use it in your organization, talk to Max. A little word about the future. So as I said, we focused on visibility first. So the first thing is we get insight into who's using ChatGPT and what data they're putting into it. The things we're thinking about for the future are controls. So how could we enable you to delete data that is highly confidential or problematic automatically? So bringing the rules into alignment there. We are considering, or we're looking at the new OpenAI Enterprise API integration, which is something they released quite recently, which gives us slightly greater capabilities and gives you slightly greater capabilities in terms of managing your workforce using ChatGPT. And we think there's a good potential for preventative action, which would essentially be to stop that message from even being sent in the first place. And the reason we can potentially do that is because this solution involves a plugin which lives on the browser rather than the typical API integration flow. But ultimately, the reason why we're having this chat now is because we'd love to have your thoughts. Thank you very much. Max, I'm going to hand back over to you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ben. One note before I wrap this up, we do have a Q&A box. So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you should have an area to enter questions. So please send those over as I'm wrapping up. And obviously you have Ben on the call. So anything pertaining to how this integration is working, this is a great time to check it. As Ben said, we have a follow-up link that's going to be going out to you via the Metomic CS team. And if this is something you'd like to set up, this is available now. It's available at no cost until the end of the year. So you'll just fill out this Google form indicating this is an integration that would be valuable. And you'll then gain access to it, and CS will reach out to do the actual setup with your team. If there are any questions, I'm going to check the Q&A box now. It looks like we are clear. It looks like we're all good. I'll wait one more moment. But otherwise, thank you for joining us today. I hope that's useful, and we look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks all. Okay, good for Q&A. Thanks, Ben. Have a good day.